should wrap it up on that. I had one thing on the Minions, which was, do you think it shows that we underestimate the kind of older, the young adult aspects of these movies? I think, looking at my own kids, they're kind of older now, but there is a kind of nostalgia value for them in watching stuff that they watched when they were a kid.
Yeah, I think tapping into that audience is so difficult, and it's been out of the grasp of content creators, mainstream content creators, for a while in lots of ways. Obviously, the Minions TikTok trend was perfect. Why couldn't they have done that for Lightyear, though, right? Like, it's practically the same thing, Yeah. And Lightyear is arguably kind of a bit more of a grown-up movie, but tapping into that is difficult, and I think it's really exciting to see like mainstream content makers manage to get that right, because most often they don't even try, because it's like, all the teens are off, on social, watching whatever, they don't really try, and they're left out in the cold a bit, honestly, because it's such a lovely story that that teens went back to watch the movie. They go, that's lovely. There's real heart in that.
Yeah. I think it's a good point you made about Lightyear, whether or not they could have tapped into that fondness for Toy Story with Lightyear, it being such a very different movie.
Yeah.
But there is, like you say, there is a tendency for mainstream content makers to not necessarily not acknowledge the heritage of their brands, but forget that actually teenagers have a fondness for what they watched as kids too. To your
Absolutely.
point, Andy, They don't become hardened teenagers who never want to acknowledge that they loved watching Minions when they were 5. Actually, they're quite happy to say, yeah, I love this movie. I grew up with it. We've all, owned a piece of Minions merch at some point in our lives, or, parroted the Minionese kind of, language.
Totally.
Actually, you can tap into that. That can be quite powerful.